So today I wanted to talk about ship shape. More specifically, there is a certain ship shape that has a couple of attributes that make it very good for more meta ship design styles than other ship shapes you'll see out there. And this ship shape is none other than the beloved shape of the UNSC Paris class heavy frigate. We all know it, we all love it, it's iconic. And it's also very good in space engineers. Here's why. We're going to go front to back and we're going to talk about the nose and then the midsection and then the end. So, for starters, the nose. The nose is very long on this ship. And if you've ever had to S-stack railguns or staircase stack railguns or do anything that involves putting a railgun behind another railgun, you'll realize that lengths start to get much longer than they were before. A railgun is like 8 blocks, and then another railgun that's 16 blocks plus a block in between to be able to pipe up the previous two railguns, or previous however many railguns you had up there, and now you're looking at 17 blocks worth of railgun space, plus however many layers of armor you want in the front to be able to block your opponent's railguns. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of length you've got slapped onto your ship there. But the shape that we're talking about today has a wonderfully long nose to be able to accommodate all of this without breaking the look or feel of the ship. And that's what a lot of other ships kind of struggle at, is you either break the look and feel of the ship, or your railguns go all the way to 2/3 down your ship, and you only have a third of it left to be able to fit your thrusters and stuff because they just take up so much space. The second part I wanted to talk about was the thruster pack and the center of the ship. Everyone knows that your ship needs to have a lot of thrusters to be able to spin to win effectively, unless you don't know what spin to win is, of course, in which case I feel bad for you. I'm going to make a video soon on how to effectively perform that. But for now, just know that you need a lot of upthrust. A ton of upthrust. If you want to dodge railguns, you're just going to have to go fast. And that requires a lot of thrusters. Well, it turns out that large thrusters take up a lot of space, and small thrusters are really hydrogen inefficient. So I try to not use them in that large of a quantity. So if you want to use your large thrusters, especially since they're even more PCU efficient than these small thrusters, but who cares about PCU? You're going to need to put them somewhere. And you can't just have them sticking out on the outside of your ship because they're going to get shot off there. So you have to put it within your ship's hull. The problem is they're big blocks. They're 3 by 3 by 3. That's a lot of space. That's the size of a reactor or a hydrogen tank or a cargo container. So you're going to have to find space to put them while also finding space for your reactors and your cargo containers and your hydrogen tanks. Thankfully, because the ship is so tall, it's very easy to simply place your thrusters on the bottom half and then place your tanks on the top half. This ensures that, one, all your thrusters have a tank directly attached to them so they don't really run out of hydrogen if a tank gets blown up. And two, you've got enough space for hydrogen, you also have enough space for thrusters. It's a great design. You can fit everything you need to. And last but not least, at the very end of the ship, you put all the other stuff in the engineering, right? But more importantly, out at the sides, you've got these nacelles. And nacelles are a design choice that you don't see that often on some ships, but you might see more often elsewhere. Nacelles stick out a lot, but they're also a wonderful place to put thrusters because they are away from the main body of the ship. You don't risk burning anything, and you have a lot of open lines to be able to put said thrusters without resorting to interior thrust, which is what I've had to do for a lot of my wedge-shaped ships, because you simply cannot fit reverse thrust on wedge ships that well. With a nacelle sticking out, you're able to put adequate reverse thrust, adequate forward thrust, and even side thrust or down thrust or whatever kind of thrust you want to. And furthermore, these thrusters help protect engineering, which is going to be right in between them. Thrusters have huge health pools, and they're only about half worth it for the thruster, and half worth it for that massive health pool, which can soak up a ton of damage. I.e., you can take a full salvo from another ship, and your engineering will be fine because you've got thrusters in the way. And this allows your engineering to be much more protected in the event that you get blindsided, because if you're in a combat with more than one person, you're going to get blindsided. It happens to everyone, and if your ship does not have adequate side protection, it's going to get tapped in one shot, and we don't want that. So by having these nacelles here, we give protection to our engineering space to allow our ship to function should we get blindsided, and we also give adequate reverse thrust and adequate forward thrust and side thrust while also leaving enough space in the center of the ship to be able to put all of our cool components. And that's my take on the Paris class frigate. It's a pretty good design.